What if sharing less could make you feel stronger, happier, and more alive? Every time you overshare your life, you might be giving away your inner power. Welcome to Jung Psyche Hub, where we uncover Carl Jung's profound wisdom to help you live authentically. In this video, we're diving into 4 life-changing lessons inspired by Carl Jung's persona and shadow work, to show you why keeping some parts of your life private can transform your energy, relationships, and sense of self. You'll learn how to protect your energy with silence. Choose who hears your story. Grow privately to thrive publicly. And deepen connections through presence. Backed by real stories and practical steps, this journey will empower you to stop scattering your life and start living with purpose. This isn't just a video. It's a wake-up call to reclaim your power. Grab a notebook, because these lessons will change how you share your world. Let's start protecting your energy now. What if every word you speak is a piece of your energy given away? Welcome to the first transformative lesson, inspired by Carl Jung. Protect your energy with silence. In a world that celebrates oversharing, where every thought, meal, or moment is posted online, silence is a radical act of self-preservation. Every time you share without purpose, you scatter your inner strength, leaving yourself drained and disconnected. Rooted in Carl Jung's wisdom, this lesson will show you how silence can become your most powerful tool to conserve energy, deepen your presence, and align with your authentic self. Through persona, the social mask we wear, you'll learn why holding back can make you stronger. Let's dive into why silence is your greatest currency for a vibrant life. Carl Jung's concept of the persona, the face we show the world, explains why we often feel compelled to share everything. The persona is shaped by societal expectations, urging us to seek validation through likes, comments, or approval. This need to perform can become a trap, draining our energy as we craft a public image that doesn't always reflect our true self. Carl Jung's individuation process calls us to peel back this mask, focusing on inner growth rather than external recognition. Silence is the key to this shift. By choosing when to speak and when to stay quiet, you protect your energy from being scattered by the collective, unconscious, the societal pressure to overshare. Silence isn't emptiness. It's a reservoir of strength, allowing you to connect with yourself and live with purpose. Consider Sarah, a 29-year-old marketer who felt exhausted by her constant social media posts. She shared every achievement, frustration, and daily moment online, seeking likes to feel validated. But each post left her emptier, as if her energy was leaking into the void of the internet. During a mindfulness retreat, Sarah learned about Carl Jung's persona and realized her oversharing was an attempt to maintain a polished social mask. She decided to experiment with silence, limiting posts to meaningful updates and keeping personal reflections private. At first, it felt uncomfortable. She worried people would think she was distant. But soon, Sarah noticed a shift. She felt more grounded. Her focus sharpened, and her relationships deepened as she shared thoughtfully in person. Sarah's story shows that silence doesn't isolate. It empowers you to reclaim your energy. Why is protecting your energy with silence so powerful? Because energy is your life's currency. Every word you speak carries a piece of your vitality, and oversharing scatters it, like coins spent on things you don't need. Carl Jung's persona teaches that we often share to maintain an image, not to connect authentically. A 2022 study from the University of Pennsylvania found that excessive social media sharing correlates with increased stress and lower well-being, as it fuels comparison and validation seeking. Silence, on the other hand, activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest, and restore state, slowing your heart rate. deepening your breath, and calming your body. It's not passive, it's medicine. By choosing silence, you conserve energy for what truly matters: your growth, relationships, and inner peace. Here's the deeper truth. Silence is magnetic. Carl Jung's Individuation reveals that when you stop performing for the world's approval, you align with yourself, radiating quiet confidence. People are drawn to those who don't scatter their energy. They lean in to understand the mystery of someone who speaks with intention. Silence doesn't mean suppressing your voice. It means choosing when and how to use it. It's about pausing before you vent, reflecting before you post, and asking, does this serve me? By protecting your energy, you create space for clarity, creativity, and authentic connection, free from the noise of the collective unconscious. So, how do you protect your energy with silence? Start by noticing your persona at work. Do you share to impress, to vent, or to feel seen? Journal about moments when you overshare, perhaps posting every detail of your day or venting frustrations to colleagues. Ask, what need am I trying to fill? This uncovers the persona's influence, often rooted in a desire for validation. Next, practice intentionnelle, silence daily. Set a no-post day each week, focusing on private reflection. Instead, pause before speaking in conversations. Take a deep breath and ask, is this worth my energy? Create boundaries, like turning off notifications or limiting social media to 30 minutes daily. Spend 5 minutes in silence each morning, focusing on your breath to center yourself. Surround yourself with people who respect your restraint, as their energy will reinforce your practice. Mindfulness amplifies silence. Carl Jung's Individuation emphasizes conscious awareness to align with yourself. Try a brief meditation. Sit quietly. Notice your thoughts without reacting, and let silence ground you. If you feel the urge to share impulsively, pause and write it down. First, journaling helps process emotions privately. Reflect daily on one moment where silence saved your energy. Like skipping a heated debate or holding back a reactive comment, over time, silence becomes a habit, transforming how you engage with the world. As Carl Jung's persona teaches, silence doesn't hide you, it reveals your true strength. What do you share that drains your energy? How would it feel to hold back and reclaim your power? Silence isn't empty, it's your most powerful currency. By protecting your energy, you align with yourself and unlock a life of clarity and purpose. Let's move to the next lesson, where we'll explore how to choose who hears your story. Have you ever shared a piece of your heart only to feel misunderstood or judged? Welcome to the second transformative lesson inspired by Carl Jung. Choose your audience wisely. Not every ear deserves your story, and sharing with the wrong people can drain your energy and erode your trust. In a world that encourages broadcasting every detail of our lives, choosing who hears your truth is a powerful act of self-protection and authenticity. Rooted in Carl Jung's shadow work, this lesson will show you how to guard your inner world by sharing selectively, aligning with yourself to build deeper, more meaningful connections. Let's explore why your story is a treasure that deserves the right listeners. Carl Jung's shadow work, confronting the hidden parts of your psyche, like the need for validation or fear of rejection, reveals why we often overshare. The shadow holds insecurities that drive us to seek approval, pushing us to tell our stories to anyone who'll listen. This can lead to pain when our words are met with judgment or misunderstanding, as the collective unconscious societal pressures to be seen fuels this cycle. Carl Jung's individuation process teaches that true connection comes from aligning with yourself, not pleasing others. Choosing your audience wisely means recognizing who has the capacity to hold your truth without breaking it. By doing so, you protect your energy, foster trust, and create relationships that reflect your authentic self. Consider David, a 34-year-old entrepreneur who struggled with oversharing in his marriage, eager to connect with his wife. He shared every business idea, worry, and dream, hoping for support. But often, his wife, overwhelmed by her own stresses, responded with disinterest or criticism, leaving David feeling unheard. During a counseling session, David explored Carl Jung's shadow work and realized his oversharing stemmed from a shadow need for validation. He decided to choose his audience more carefully, sharing only meaningful updates with his wife when she was ready to listen, and discussing business plans with a mentor instead. This shift transformed their marriage. Conversations became bridges, not walls. David's story shows that choosing the right listener doesn't limit connection, it deepens it. Why is choosing your audience so vital? Because your words are seeds, and not every soil is fertile. Sharing your story with someone unready or unwilling to receive it can lead to misunderstanding or betrayal, draining your emotional reserves. Carl Jung's shadow work reveals that oversharing often stems from a hidden desire to be seen, rooted in the shadow of insecurity. A 2020 study from the Journal of Social Psychology found that selective disclosure sharing with trusted, empathetic listeners strengthens relationships and boosts well-being, while indiscriminate sharing increases stress by 15%. When you share with the wrong audience, your story is fragmented, losing its power. But when you choose wisely, your words foster intimacy, trust, and mutual growth, aligning with yourself. Here's the deeper truth. Your story's value grows when shared with those who honor it. Carl Jung's Individuation teaches that authentic relationships are built on mutual respect, not constant exposure. The shadow of validation seeking convinces you to share everything with everyone. But this scatters your energy and invites judgment. Choosing your audience means asking, does this person have the capacity to hold my truth? It's not about secrecy, it's about discernment. A dream shared with a skeptic may wither. Shared with a supporter, it flourishes. By selecting listeners who respect your depth, you protect yourself and create space for genuine connection, free from the noise of the collective unconscious. So, how do you choose your audience wisely? Start by exploring your shadow. Journal about a time you overshared and felt misunderstood, perhaps venting to a friend who judged you, or posting online only to regret it. Ask, what need was I trying to meet? This uncovers the shadow of validation or fear driving your actions. Next, practice discernment before sharing. Pause and ask, is this person ready to hear me? Do they respect my story? Share vulnerabilities with trusted confidants, those who listen without judgment. Like a close friend or mentor, limit oversharing on social media, where audiences are mixed and often unready. Create a mental checklist. Does this sharing build connection or seek approval? Surround yourself with people who value your restraint, as their energy will reinforce your practice. Mindfulness strengthens discernment. Carl Jung's shadow work emphasizes awareness to align with yourself. Try a 5-minute reflection before sharing. Visualize the listener. Consider their capacity, and weigh the impact of your words. If you feel compelled to overshare, journal your thoughts first to process them privately. Reflect daily on one interaction where you chose your audience wisely, like confiding in a supportive colleague instead of a group chat. Over time, discernment becomes a habit, transforming how you connect. As Carl Jung's shadow work teaches, your story is a treasure. Share it with those who cherish it. Who truly deserves to hear your story? How would it feel to share only with those who honor your truth? Your words are seeds. Plant them in fertile soil. By choosing your audience wisely, You align with yourself and build connections that thrive. Let's move to the next lesson, where we'll explore how to grow privately to thrive publicly. What if keeping your dreams and growth private could make you stronger than shouting them to the world? Welcome to the third transformative lesson inspired by Carl Jung. Grow privately. Thrive publicly. In a culture that glorifies broadcasting every goal, change, or milestone, sharing too soon can weaken your progress, exposing it to doubt or judgment before it's ready. By nurturing your growth in silence, you build unshakable inner strength that shines when the time is right. Rooted in Carl Jung's individuation process, this lesson will show you how to protect your personal evolution by keeping it private, aligning with your authentic self to radiate confidence and purpose. Let's explore why silent growth is the root of public thriving. Carl Jung's individuation, the journey to integrate all parts of your psyche into your true self, teaches that personal growth is most powerful when it's cultivated internally before being shared. The collective unconscious, filled with societal pressures to announce every step of your journey, often pushes us to seek validation prematurely. This can disrupt your progress, as external opinion, doubt, criticism, or even praise can destabilize your focus. Carl Jung's individuation encourages you to nurture your growth in the quiet, like roots expanding unseen beneath the soil. By keeping your plans, dreams, and transformations private until they're strong, you align with yourself, building resilience and confidence that radiate naturally when you're ready to share. Consider Mia, a 25-year-old artist who struggled with self-doubt. She used to share every new project or creative idea on social media, hoping for encouragement, but often lukewarm responses or unsolicited critique left her discouraged, stalling her progress. During a workshop on Carl Jung's individuation, Mia learned that premature sharing exposed her fragile ideas to external noise. She decided to grow privately, working on her art in silence for months, sharing only with a trusted mentor. This allowed her to refine her vision without distraction. When she finally unveiled her work at a gallery, the confidence in her creations stunned her audience. Mia's story shows that private growth doesn't hide you, it strengthens you to shine brighter. Why is growing privately so powerful? Because it protects your dreams while they're still forming. Carl Jung's individuation reveals that sharing too early invites the shadow of external validation, which can weaken your resolve. A 2021 study from the Journal of Personality found that people who announce goals publicly often lose motivation due to premature satisfaction, feeling accomplished just by talking about it. Private growth, however, builds discipline and focus. Like a seed germinating in darkness before breaking through the soil. By keeping your progress quiet, you avoid criticism or pressure that could derail you. When you're ready to share, your results speak for themselves, radiating the authenticity of yourself. Here's the deeper truth. Private growth is strong growth. Carl Jung's individuation teaches that your self thrives in the stillness of inner work, not the noise of public approval. The shadow of validation seeking tempts you to announce every step, but this scatters your energy and invites doubt. By nurturing your growth privately, you create a foundation of resilience. A new habit, like daily meditation, gains strength in silence before you share its benefits. A career goal, like starting a business, solidifies when you plan without fanfare. Private growth isn't about secrecy. It's about giving your dreams the space to mature. When you emerge, your presence is undeniable, aligned with yourself and free from the collective unconscious. So, how do you grow privately to thrive publicly? Start by exploring your shadow of validation. Journal about a time you shared a goal too soon and felt discouraged, perhaps announcing a fitness plan only to face skepticism. Ask, why did I need to share? This uncovers the shadow driving your actions. Next, commit to private growth. Choose one goal, a new habit, project, or personal change, and keep it private for at least 30 days. Share only with a trusted confidant, like a mentor or close friend, who supports without judging. Limit social media announcements, focusing instead on quiet action. Reflect daily on your progress in a journal, noting how silence strengthens your focus. Spend 5 minutes each morning visualizing your goal, grounding yourself in its purpose. Surround yourself with people who respect your privacy, as their energy will reinforce your practice. Mindfulness deepens private growth. Carl Jung's Individuation emphasizes conscious awareness to connect with yourself. Try a brief meditation, sit quietly, focus on your breath, and visualize your goal growing stronger in silence. If you feel the urge to announce your progress, pause and ask, is this ready to share? Journaling helps process your journey privately, preserving its energy. Reflect daily on one moment where privacy strengthened your resolve, like skipping a post about a small win to focus on the work. Over time, private growth becomes a habit, transforming how you thrive. As Carl Jung's Individuation teaches, like a tree's roots, your strength grows in silence. What growth are you sharing too soon? How would it feel to nurture your dreams in quiet confidence? Private growth is strong. Growth your roots deepen in silence. By growing privately, you align with yourself and thrive publicly with unshakable purpose. Let's move to the next lesson, where we'll explore how to cultivate presence through listening. What if listening more deeply could transform your relationships and make you magnetic? Welcome to the fourth transformative lesson, inspired by Carl Jung. Cultivate presence through listening. In a world obsessed with speaking, sharing, and being heard, true presence comes from the quiet power of listening. By listening deeply without rushing to respond, you create space for authentic connection, build trust, and radiate the wisdom of Carl Jung's sage archetype. This lesson will show you how to shift from broadcasting your life to being fully present, aligning with yourself to foster meaningful relationships. Let's explore why listening is the key to unlocking deeper connections and inner strength. Carl Jung's sage archetype embodies wisdom, insight, and the ability to understand beyond words. The sage listens with intention, perceiving the unspoken emotions and truths beneath the surface. Carl Jung's individuation process teaches that aligning with yourself requires moving beyond the ego's need to dominate conversations or seek validation through speech. The collective unconscious societal pressures to always be heard often drowns out the power of silence and listening. By cultivating presence through listening, you break free from this noise, creating space for mutual understanding and authentic connection. Listening isn't passive, it's an active practice that strengthens yourself, making you a beacon of trust and wisdom in any relationship. Consider Ethan, a 42-year-old teacher who struggled to connect with his friends. He often dominated conversations, sharing his thoughts and stories to feel valued, but he noticed friends pulling away, their responses growing distant. During a mindfulness course, Ethan explored Carl Jung's sage archetype and realized his need to speak stemmed from a fear of being overlooked. He decided to practice listening, focusing fully on his friend's words without interrupting or planning his response. At a dinner, instead of sharing his own stories, Ethan asked thoughtful questions and listened deeply. His friends opened up, sharing vulnerabilities they'd never revealed before. Ethan's presence transformed their bond, making him a trusted confidant His story shows that listening doesn't diminish you. It amplifies your impact. Why is cultivating presence through listening so powerful? Because it creates a space where others feel truly seen. Carl Jung's sage archetype teaches that wisdom lies in understanding, not dominating. A 2022 study from the University of Michigan found that active listening, fully engaging with a speaker without interrupting, increases trust and emotional closeness by 20%. When you listen deeply, you signal respect, fostering intimacy that words alone can't achieve. The collective unconscious pushes us to fill silence with chatter, but listening allows you to perceive subtle cues, tone, body language, unspoken emotions that reveal deeper truths. By being present, you align with yourself, creating connections that are authentic and enduring. Here's the deeper truth. Listening is a form of strength. Carl Jung's Individuation reveals that true presence doesn't require constant speech, it requires attention and restraint. The shadow of ego, seeking to be heard, often drowns out others' voices, weakening relationships. Listening, however, radiates quiet power. When you pause to hear someone's story without rushing to respond, you create a safe space for vulnerability. A friend sharing a struggle feels validated. A partner expressing frustration feels understood. This presence makes you magnetic, drawing others to you not because you speak, but because you listen. Listening aligns you with yourself, transforming relationships into spaces of trust and mutual growth. So, how do you cultivate presence through listening? Start by noticing your shadow of ego. Journal about a time you interrupted or dominated a conversation, perhaps to share your own story or prove a point. Ask, what was I seeking? This uncovers the shadow, driving your need to speak. Next, practice active listening daily. In conversations, focus fully on the speaker. Maintain eye contact. Nod, and avoid planning your response. Ask open-ended questions, like, how did that make you feel, to deepen understanding? Set a goal to listen twice as much as you speak in one interaction each day. Limit distractions, like putting away your phone during talks. Surround yourself with people who model listening, as their energy will inspire you. Mindfulness enhances listening. Carl Jung's sage archetype emphasizes conscious awareness to connect with yourself. Try a 5-minute listening meditation. Sit quietly, focus on ambient sounds, and notice them without judgment. Apply this to conversations. Observe the speaker's tone and emotions without reacting. If you feel the urge to interrupt, take a deep breath and refocus on their words. Reflect daily on one moment where listening strengthened a connection, like hearing a colleague's idea fully before responding. Over time, listening becomes a habit, transforming how you relate. As Carl Jung's sage teaches, presence speaks louder than words. How can you listen more deeply today? What would it feel like to create space for others' truths? Presence is power. Your listening shapes connection. By cultivating presence through listening, you align with yourself and build relationships that thrive. Let's move to our final lesson, where we'll weave these practices into a life of authentic connection. You've just unlocked the secret to living with power and authenticity. Stop telling your life to everyone and start protecting your energy. Through 4 transformative lessons inspired by Carl Jung's wisdom, you've learned how to align with yourself and create a life of depth and connection. From protecting your energy with silence to choosing your audience wisely, growing privately to thrive publicly, and cultivating presence through listening, you now have the tools to stop scattering your story and start living with purpose. This is Carl Jung's Individuation in action, a journey to reclaim your inner strength, free from the noise of the collective unconscious. Feel that spark of clarity. That's yourself, urging you to live authentically now. This isn't just a video. It's a call to transform how you share your world. You're not the same person you were 20 minutes ago. You've discovered that silence is your currency. Your story is a treasure. Your growth is sacred. And your presence is powerful. But knowledge alone isn't enough. It's time to act. Which lesson will you apply today? Will you pause before posting to protect your energy? Choose a trusted confidant for your story. Keep a goal private to nurture it, or listen deeply to someone you love. Share your first step in the comments. Below your choice could inspire someone else to live with intention. Let's build a community of authentic connection together. Subscribe to Jung Psyche Hub and hit the bell to dive deeper into self-discovery and psychology. Like this video to keep these insights flowing, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. A friend, family member, or anyone ready to reclaim their power. Every like, comment, and share helps spread Carl Jung's transformative wisdom to the world. Don't wait for the perfect moment to live authentically. The time is now. As Carl Jung self reminds us, your story is yours. Share it wisely, and let your presence speak. Let's keep growing, connecting, and thriving together.